We just saw The Rover. The way this show works is we do a review in two parts. The first part is a quick overview of whether we like the movie or not, so you can make up your mind as to whether you want to go see it without spoilers. And then after that point, we do get into more detail and potentially talk about plot points and things that might give away the ending and things like that. So for people that are trying to make up their mind, watch the first half. If it sounds good, go see it. Otherwise, feel free to watch the entire video. So, I've really enjoyed this movie. The Rover is a good, character-driven action movie. You've got really strong performances from Guy Pearce and Robert Pattinson. It's a very well-written movie. It kind of reminds me of a Luc Besson movie, as far as how deep the characters are, but it also has sort of a kind of a Walking Dead or that sort of post-apocalyptic feel to it. Not in that it's just really grim, and overly violent and all of that kind of stuff. It's more of a just things have gone completely badly for everyone in the movie, and they don't really get into that. They don't really explain any of that, but that's not really important. That's really not what the movie's about. So it's an intriguing movie. There's always something else to figure out, so there's a good amount of mystery and suspense in it as well, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah,
I enjoyed it too. It was also, I was trying to think how to describe, it's like the world's worst road trip buddy movie.
Yeah.
Like kind of Thelma and Louise-ish.
Well, I mean, it's
like
not
that, but
it's not The Road by Cormac McCarthy, but
it's a lot of it is the two characters and their adventures on this trip, and so
right.
that's what made me think of it. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it too. And part of it was the characters. I was really pleasantly surprised by Robert Pattinson's performance. Yeah. And maybe that's just my assumptions from what he's most well known for. But I thought
you give him something to do, and
right. To be fair to him, that's true.
So just stand around and sparkle, he doesn't sparkle very much.
No, not in this one.
He's kind of dirty and
kind of
dusty.
He has bad teeth. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I enjoyed it as well.
So go check it out. Don't let us ruin anything for you if you want to go see it. But yeah, to get into more depth. So it's interesting that this movie works as well as it does, being as bleak as it is. Every situation, it has sort of that Breaking Bad feel of everything you see happen goes so much worse than you think it's going to go for everyone involved. And it basically comes down to, like, Guy Pearce basically says that in so many words, like, it bothers him that he's still alive, that no one has come to, like, bring him to justice for all of the things he's had to do and the things he's done. But since it hasn't happened yet, he's just continuing to move forward.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really sink in until about halfway through the movie. And then it sort of becomes, okay, so what's in the car? Like, what is it that he actually is still going to do? And that ends up not being really that important either. It's just he has like this much of a reason to exist, and so he continues to exist. And that's all he has.
Yeah, I think that the Breaking Bad connection is interesting because I think the characters are very similar.
Yeah.
But the Guy Pearce character is very similar to Walt and
Jesse.
And Robert Pattinson's character is similar to Jesse.
Yeah.
I think the other part and we were talking about this earlier, I really liked the other characters that they met along the way. I think they were, for as short a time as most of them were in the movie, I thought they were really well written and well developed, and I really believed what I saw from those people.
Yeah, they felt like they had been sitting in those rooms for days on end, and they were just as happy. Like, some people were all, armed to the teeth and, trying to protect themselves and scrape by, and other people were just kind of waiting for death, like, just sort of standing around like, are you the guy that's gonna kill me? Like, okay,
and there is a lot of death. I mean, there is, and not terribly graphic, but you do see a lot of people die. So if guns and people getting shot in the head is hard for you to watch, this maybe isn't the movie for you.
Yeah, I actually think the first time Guy Pearce shoots somebody is pretty. That happens like really fast and is really shocking.
Yeah, and there's a child.
And that's more of a, like, that's not a graphic thing. That's more of just an emotional thing.
Right.
But that is a development thing for Robert Pattinson's character. That he thinks he's shooting at the military and he shoots a little girl. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I loved, you said before, like, they made, Robert Pattinson have, like, ugly teeth, and he talked weird, and he almost seemed like he was kind of slow, but then he was, like, speaking Chinese or something to somebody. It's like, you don't really have a feel for what his story is. There's just...
Right, well, and that's why I think, and you sort of mentioned, I think he was really given the opportunity to sort of show off his acting skills. He really played that character, and I didn't ever get the sense... he did a good job. I guess I didn't ever feel like he was just playing a character. Like, he was that person, that this was a real person who... This is how they interact with everyone, and that's how they approach the world, and so that part felt real too. Yeah,
and Guy Pearce looked like he'd been a castaway on a desert island. Like,
it made me wonder how old he is in real life.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I think they made him look a lot older than he really is.
He looks terrible because he's supposed to look terrible. He's got a really bushy beard and he's really gaunt, and he gets hit in the head in the beginning of it, and I'm not sure that that's why, but, like, he has a big patch of hair missing out of the back of his head. So yeah, he looks all goofed up. But he doesn't play the character like he's, a meth head or something like that. He plays it like he's just a very serious guy. And it's interesting, like, after seeing the movie, like, thinking back to that first scene where, he pulls up to try and take his car back, and the guy's like, if you come closer, I'm going to shoot you. I want my car back. You're not getting your car back, and if you come forward, I'm going to shoot you. I want my car back.
My car back.
Like, he doesn't care. Like, if they shot him right then, that would be fine with him. But otherwise, he wants his car back.
Yes. No, seriously.
Yeah. And none of this is played for laughs, which is also, like, that's a not Luc Besson style thing, because he would have put some humor in there, and there would have been, like, a couple of sight gags or something like that. All of this is very serious, but it's done in such a way that, again, it's not bleak serious, it's just interesting serious. It's
and it emphasized
mysterious.
that he was really so driven, that it was almost unrelenting, his drive for what he wanted. They formed sort of a tenuous relationship, but there wasn't ever any humor in there, and there wasn't really any, I don't want to say humanity, but he didn't really care for him as a person. It was part of the bigger picture and the drive to get his car back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I think it sort of fueled that same sort of theme.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any movies that I could compare this to that, that you would say are in a similar vein, or there were some parts toward the end that I felt like it was kind of dragging a little bit, like the final push up to the house at the end seemed to go on for a little bit longer. But really, it's kind of a unique. It's kind of a unique idea. I mean, I mentioned like Cormac McCarthy and The Walking Dead, and it has sort of that vibe to it, but it's just not as. It's like take The Walking Dead and remove zombies and remove like 99% of the characters, and you've got the Rover. You know.
Oh, and plus you need to like Australia.
Yeah. Yeah. It felt like playing the first Borderlands without any of the humor in Borderlands. Like, people sliding supplies to each other through doors and weird desert people and... Except
I feel like that's very, like... I feel like that's probably how
that's
it
probably
is
how
out
part
in the
of
bush.
Australia is.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably fairly accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're from Australia, go ahead and comment and tell us how wrong we are about that. But anyway, that's our review. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely go check out The Rover. It was a good movie. Check out the rest of our reviews here and everything over at DaleMaxfield.com. Thanks for watching.
Bye.